Everything you heard about Canada, about living in Canada, everything you're seeing online about living in Canada is true. And someone came and stole my package, which I also got like 2 scam jobs. You know what it means to start a job and then a scam at, oh my, to make matters worse, things were so hard. And at one time, I think I thought of moving back to the UK because I was like, this is unfamiliar waters. This is unfamiliar territories. It's really... In June of 2024, I decided to leave the UK and move to Canada as a permanent resident. I had my PR approved in April of 2024, but before it got approved, I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be approved, and I booked my flight in faith. Okay, that's what I also did when I was moving from Nigeria to the UK. I booked my flights before my visa was approved because that's how I move. Okay, in faith, I move in faith. That's how I moved then. That's how I also moved last year when I was moving from England, United Kingdom to Alberta, Canada. I booked my flight in faith. I booked my flight around March of 2024. My visa came out in April 2024, and we left England to Canada in June of 2024. It's been 1 year. Let's talk about it. Is it really worth it? Do I think I'm going to move back to the UK? How has 1 year in Canada been? Is moving to Canada worth it in this day and age? And I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I'm going to start from the ugly in this video before I get to the good. The thing I will talk about is the job market. And I'm not going to talk about my own experience alone. I'm going to just talk about the job market generally. It is very brutal. People are going through a lot. Families are going through a lot. People are packing up their families and moving to Canada and they don't have jobs. People are going 3 months, 6 months, 1 year without having a job. And imagine you have a family that you're taking care of. Imagine you have like a wife or husband, you have kids. You also have some people back home that are very dependent on you. It's it's not easy. And then you have rent to pay. And you know that unlike Nigeria where we pay our rent annually, in Canada we pay rent every month. People are fighting for their lives, literally. People are legit fighting for their lives. So job is actually not easy. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not the easiest. There are a whole lot of barriers in place when it has to do with getting a job as an immigrant. Some companies prioritize Canadian education, Canadian work experience. They want you to have Canada work experience. And most times it's very silent. You might not get a job because you don't have Canadian work experience. And they might actually pass go and give the job to somebody who you're more qualified than, but the person has Canadian work experience, which does not make any sense. Because if you're opening up your country to immigrants, especially skilled immigrants, the express entry process is a skilled worker process. So majority of the people that come through that route to Canada as permanent residents, they are professionals. Most of them have master's degrees. Most of them have extensive work experience. So they are professionals in their field. So imagine doing so well in your home country and then coming to Canada and you're unable to find any job. It's not the job market is not even smiling with anybody these days. It's actually really from the whole like job market thing. Some of the jobs that you're applying for, you might also be overqualified for some of those jobs. I know that it does not make any sense. It does not even sound right. Like, what do you mean that someone is overqualified for an opportunity? I wish I was kidding you, but for some of the jobs you probably be overqualified for it because you are coming as maybe a communications manager, a brand manager, a senior communications manager. And then you have to start from scratch in Canada. You have to start from entry-level roles like communications coordinator, communications assistant, something entry-level. And you're applying for these roles with people that just graduated from uni, people that don't even, maybe sometimes they don't have any degree, they don't have any educational qualification. You might be overqualified and you probably not get the job. There are a whole lot of things in place. Also, you might apply for a job and then they pass you over for someone that has a referral, even though you're more qualified than the person that has a referral. Does not make any sense. This does not mean that it's not possible to get a job in your field. It's not possible to get a job in a job that you actually like, a job in your educational field without having Canadian work experience. I work in my field. I You know, I don't have what's it called, Canadian education or anything. My bachelor's degree was from the University of Nigeria and Nsukka in English and Literary Studies. My master's was from the United Kingdom, not from Canada, and I was able to scale through. It's not impossible to get a job, but it's actually really hard. Everything you've heard about the job market is true. People are fighting for their lives. People are going through a lot. I've heard a lot of stories. My heart is broken for a whole lot of people. And in this regard is, you see that money that the government asked you to bring, you know, that one that when you're filling your express entry profile, how much I bring into Canada, the one they'll ask you for your bank statements for and all of that. You need to come to this country with money. If you don't come with money, I don't want to say what will happen if you don't come with money. The money that you were asked to come with by the government is so important. Like, as much as you can, try to come with that money, because I think they understand the job market. They understand that as a new immigrant, you might struggle to find a job. You might actually struggle in the job market. You might have some bitter experiences. So that money would help you and your family at least pay your rent, pay your bills until you find something to do. The job market in this country is really brutal. Things are also really expensive in Canada. I feel that the reason that I'm not feeling how expensive things are in this country is the city that I moved to and the city that I was coming from in the UK. I moved from Luton, England, United Kingdom. And if you don't know Luton is close to London. Yeah, it's like 45 minutes via train to London. Luton is really expensive. So all those areas from Luton, like if you're using the, what's the name of that Thames Link train, that area from, like, if you're going from Bedford to London, really expensive. Starting from Luton to St Albans to Radlett, Elstree and Bournemouth to can't even remember all those places. Happening that route, things are very expensive in those areas, especially accommodation. So moving from there, where I was paying an arm and a leg for a tiny box, to here where I'm not paying so much for like a massive apartment, I think that's been, like, you know, really good for me. However, things are expensive in Canada. If you're living in a place like Ontario, you will not be saying this thing that I'm saying, because things are expensive there. And before you tell people to go and move to another province, why are you still here? Why won't you move to another province? Things are cheaper in other provinces. Remember that some people have the provincial nomination PR, which means that they're not that flexible regarding relocation and moving from one province to the other to look for a province that is cheap. Some people have like the provincial nomination. It's not what I have though, but people have that and they're not able to move freely. Do you understand? So don't judge anybody, don't blame anybody for deciding not to move and complaining about how hard things are, because let's be very honest, things are really expensive here in Canada. The cost of living is something else, and imagine combining that with not having a job. People are going through a lot. So when you have family members abroad, especially in Canada and the UK, be kinder to them, give them a little bit more grace, because things are really hard, things are really, really expensive, and we don't talk about it a lot. I have that out of the way. I just wanted to share my own experience in Canada. In June of 2024, I moved from the UK to Canada as a permanent resident to start my life, my brand new life in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. It's been 1 year, 12 paying months of new experiences, of tears, I'm not even gonna lie, of thinking, did I make the right decision? Did I not make the right decision? Should I move back to the UK? Let's be very honest, I did not really think of moving back to the UK, don't judge me. Did I make the right decision? Did I not make the right decision? But generally, it's been fair. I would say one thing I would like to talk about is the cold. It's really, really cold here. Edmonton, Alberta generally is colder than, it's one of the coldest provinces in Canada. It's really cold. I experienced minus 31. I have never in my life experienced minus 31 before. This was my first minus 31, and it was really, really cold. Like, it was really cold. I was thinking about my life choices here, and you have to go to work, okay? Like, every day is not a remote day, or you're in person days, you have to go to work. So not going to work on those days, I'm not driving. It was really brutal. It was really, really brutal. my mental health has gotten better here in Canada than in the UK. In the UK, I did have like really bad mental health. I think it was the job that I was doing, I think it was everything around me was really, really stressing me out. And like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about the UK. It gave me a whole lot of things. I had like new experiences. I met amazing people. UK changed my life, okay? So I'm really, really happy about my experience in the UK. However, I feel that my mental health has been better here than it was in the UK. I feel more settled here than in the UK, and yeah, I feel more settled here than in the UK. My mental health has gotten better. I think like also what contributed to my bad mental health in the UK was also the job. Like at some point I got fed up of the job. Not like fed up, not like I was not really happy to do the job. It was just really exhausting, like waking up every day to show up at work. Like it was really hard for me. It was really difficult for me. I also didn't have a lot of time to socialize. The way I'm here going for this summer party, trying different restaurants here, trying different restaurants here, like going for this hangout, that hangout, having the time of my life. I didn't kind of have that experience in the UK because it was like work. I feel that in the UK I was working and working and working and working. And at the end of the day, sometimes I don't know where this money is going. Okay, when you pay bills and you have almost nothing left. So I was doing a lot of work and not even kind of seeing what we're actually working for, if that makes any sense. So we could not see that. It was just like, oh, work, okay, with almost nothing to show for it, which was really sad. So here I'm working with my mental health is better. Another thing I'm also grateful for is the fact that this country took a chance on me with my foreign education and my foreign work experience. I don't have any Canadian education. Am I going to get one? No. Except I'm going to maybe try to get certified in my field, but to get Canadian work experience, to get Canadian education, I'm not going back to school anyway. But then like this country took a chance on me with my foreign education and everything, and I was able to get something good in my field. And yeah, something not entry level and something really good in my field. And I'm very grateful for that opportunities. I know that I have like bigger opportunities in the future. I know that more opportunities are going to come in the future. But I'm just really grateful for what I have now, while looking up to God for better opportunities, like believing him and like putting in the work for better opportunities. So I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm really thankful for the fact that he gave me a chance. He also gave me a chance to rest, not thinking of, okay, after my post-study, what next? My post-study has not even expired. My post-study has not even expired. After paying that huge amount of money, I didn't even get to use the kind post-study. Anyway, but I'm not even thinking about that, but it has not expired yet. But thinking about, oh my god, what next? So I'm just hearing a whole lot of stories about what's going on in the UK, and I feel so heartbroken with everything that is going on. And I know how terrifying that can be, thinking of what next, doing a job that you probably do not like because they're sponsoring your visa, and maybe enduring a whole lot of things like abuse and the likes because you don't want anything to happen to your visa. It's a lot. Okay, the fact that I've not really thought about that in a long time. I feel like settled. I have never woke up in the morning to say, I'm staying at this job because they're giving me sponsorship, they're sponsoring my visa. Nobody's sponsoring my visa. If I get tired, I would quit, but my job is not tied to anything. I think that it has been freeing for me. That's been freeing for me, like coming abroad in 2022, and now just having like that level of peace of mind that comes with having residency, and not just temporary residency, permanent residency in the country. I do not take this for granted. I do not take this country for granted. I do not take the opportunities that this country has given me for granted. Healthcare system is also another thing that people want to know when they ask me, about living in Canada, blah blah blah. Is it good, like the healthcare system? To be honest, I didn't really go to the hospital a lot in the UK. I have never been to A&E, so I don't know the wait time at the hospital in the UK. I think I went to the clinic or something when I went to do my pap smear. And I think one time I was not feeling fine. Was I hospitalized then? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been hospitalized. But like going to the hospital, the way that I've gone to the hospital here, I've been in the ER twice or thrice here since I came here. And my family doctor and I'm always there, okay? Any bararam, I've gone to the clinic. Anything at all, I'm in the clinic. the healthcare system in Canada, I'm not going to say that it's bad. If you remove the wait time, it's amazing, because even though I'll wait for like 6 hours, 7 hours before I get attended to, I always have excellent care. I always get fantastic care. So I cannot really fault the wait time, the healthcare system. The waiting is not the funniest, especially when you're actually in pain and you really need to get help. That cannot be the funniest experience. However, you will still get excellent care. So I don't really have any bad thing to say about the healthcare system. About transportation, we already know that I'm not driving yet, but I think I don't want to promise myself too much, but I'm thinking that I need to really take my theory driving test before my birthday. I'm just putting it out here. This is the first time I'm actually saying it. I've not said it out loud before, but I would like to get my theory driving test before my birthday in August. That's almost close. It's almost here. Yes, I would really like to take my theory driving test. I've never had a driving license before. I tried to learn how to drive in Nigeria last year. I've tried to learn how to drive. It didn't really work out well. But now I'm taking it seriously because I really need a car. However, the transport system in my city, I'm not going to talk about Canada generally because I don't live everywhere in Canada, and Canada is such a big country. It's one of the biggest countries in the world. The transport system where I live is fantastic. It's really good. It's really great. The buses come all the time. It takes me less than 30 minutes by bus to get to work every day. Like, so the buses come when they're supposed to come, mostly. We have experienced bus delays. It's not in Canada, it's in the UK. The bus that goes from Watford to St. Albans, I can't remember the bus name, but I know it's an Uno bus. It delays a lot. Sometimes it does not show up. I remember crying there many times during the winter when the buses will not show up. I remember tweeting at them, trying to call them to ask them where the bus was. I've not had that experience here, and here is even much colder. The buses, they actually showed up during the winter. They did show up during the winter because I went to work during the winter and the buses showed up. Even when it was minus 31, the buses showed up during the winter. I remember going to work during the winter. So I would say the transport system in my city is not bad, but in other parts of Canada, I don't know. I don't live in other parts of Canada. And like I said, Canada is such a big country. It's the second largest country in the world. So I don't know. I talk about taxes. I don't even know a country that taxes more. I feel that when it has to do with salaries, you earn more in Canada than you earn in the UK. Especially during the same job, you earn way more in Canada than in the UK. We've met a doctor at our clinic that moved from the UK to Canada. And I know it's for better pay. I know it's for better pay actually. So Canada pays more for professional jobs than the UK. There's the federal tax and the provincial tax, and I think there's EI. I need to go and look at my payslip. I don't think I look at that a lot. I think I need to look at my pay slip, but I know that the amount we can be earning the same amount of money in different provinces. Like for instance, we are earning 100k. I'm earning 100k, earning 100k. I'm earning 100k in Alberta, you're earning 100k in Ontario. And then when they tax both of us, like at the end of the day, at the end of the week, we don't get the same amount of money because we don't live in the same province. So that's basically how it is. And I think I also contribute for pension. Yeah, I also contribute for pension. I really need to go and look at that payslip. Like, I need to go and look at the payslip. I think I do. I think I do. The taxes according to your province. I don't know the country that taxes more. Honestly, I've not really calmed down to think about that. The sales taxes. Like, so when you buy something in Canada, you know how when you buy something in the UK, the amount of money that you're seeing when you're trying to grab that off the shelf is the amount of money that you're going to pay at the till or when you're going to check out. In Canada, it's not the same thing. You get something from the shelves. When you go to the till, it's a different amount of money. They've added the sales tax, which I'm not used to. And the good thing is, in Alberta, I don't think we only pay the federal one. I don't think we pay the states. I don't know a lot of things, honestly. I don't think we pay the states one. Yeah, I think we only pay the federal sales tax, right? But I don't think we pay the states one, the provincial one. I don't think so. But Yeah, that one is another. I don't understand. Like, why am I seeing another amount of money when I'm going to pay? I don't like that. I don't like level of scams in this country. You have to be very careful. When I moved here, people told me a whole lot of things. Like, if somebody calls you to ask you about your SIN, like, do not give anybody your SIN. I'm like, why are they calling you to ask you about that? And you think that's a joke? Every week, like at least twice in a week, I receive some of these scam calls. I receive scam messages. I like the amount of scam calls and messages I've not received this kind before. Like, it's a lot. So there are a lot of scams here. I told you guys that I've also been unfortunate to get a scam job. Okay, I've also been unfortunate to get a scam job, and two scam jobs actually. Started the first one for three days into it. I found out I was a scam, then got another one. So you need to, I think I'll do a video on how to, like, you know, how to check out scam jobs, how to avoid scam jobs, because that was really a hard time for me. Last year was really hard. It was really hard for me. Anyway, but yeah, there are lots of scams. I mean, there are scams everywhere, but this one, calling somebody every time, calling all the time, like scammers calling all the time. You need to be very, very careful here. I did not experience that kind of thing in the UK, but I'm experiencing it here. So yeah, it's very careful. Rambling and rambling and rambling. But what I wanted to say is I'm very glad that I made this decision. I understand that everybody's journey is not the same thing. Don't see my journey and say, Gift had it good. Gift had it so good. My dear, if you know me personally, that's when you will know the things that I had to go through. Like these scam jobs, I'm telling you guys, I'm just telling you guys. You guys don't even know you don't know the whole story. And I'm not somebody that, I don't really share a whole lot of bad things that happen to me most times. I don't like to share it on the internet. If you're close to me, then you will know the story. I'll tell my friends and my family, close family, okay? Not close family members will know. And then my friends will also know. But I don't just, wake up one day and then, like, I'll not, like, be sharing intimate details of my life. I don't like to say that, and I try to be very positive online, very positive. Even on my TikTok, I share a very positive experience of a very positive experience of my Canadian journey, of my becoming Canadian journey. Do you understand? So yeah, that does not mean that I don't have my own struggles. Does not mean that I don't have my own challenges. I do, but I just try to not talk about them a lot, I just try not to talk about them a lot. That's the whole story, yeah. So 1 year, I would say it has been eventful. I would say I'm very thankful to God for the opportunity to be here, like get this permanent residency, celebrate my anniversary. Like, it's the journey of becoming Canadian. I'm very grateful for this country. I'm very thankful for this country. I'm very grateful for this country. I'm an upstanding resident of this country, tax paying, try my best to do the right thing here, and this is my home already, so I see this as my home, so I'm home here. Do you understand? Anyway, yeah, people have different experiences, so what I'll say is do not compare your journey with anybody's own. The fact that I'm here saying positive things about my experience does not mean that I've not had my own challenges. I have had my own problems. Like me telling you guys I was in the ER, I only made one video that telling you guys that I spent how many hours in the ER. Did I tell you guys that I went back there again and again? No, but now you know. Now you know. So yeah, don't compare your journey with that. Everybody's on a different journey. You don't know what people are going through behind closed doors. Anyway, happy anniversary to me. Thank you guys for coming with me to this journey, going on this journey with me. It's been eventful, it's been great, and I'm so thankful for everything and thankful for the journey. So yeah, 2 more years to becoming Canadian. I can't wait. I can't wait. Thank you for watching. Till I come here again next time. Bye.